Donald Trump this Saturday gave a speech at the Israeli-American Council National Summit in Florida. And he said a lot of things, but one thing in particular stood out. Let's watch this video and see if you can guess what it is.
A lot of you are in the real estate business because I know you very well. You're brutal killers, not nice people at all, but you have to vote for them. You have no choice. You're not going to vote for Pocahontas, I can tell you that. You're not going to vote for the wealth tax. Yeah, let's take 100% of your wealth away. No, even if you don't like me, some of you don't. Some of you I don't like at all, actually. And you're going to be my biggest supporters because you'll be out of business in about 15 minutes if they get it. So I don't have to spend a lot of time on that.
So in more reasonable times, perhaps him declaring a prominent Democratic primary candidate, Pocahontas, again, even though he's been told many times from people inside and outside of the Native American community that's entirely unacceptable and offensive, he did it. Let's maybe gloss over the fact that that crowd laughed at that. That's an indictment of them as well, not just Trump. He can make the comment, it should be to a quiet room. There should be crickets and nothing else after he makes that comment, but that's not even the worst thing. It was you guys are in the real estate business, you wanna make some money, you hate me, you don't support me, but there's no way you're gonna vote for a wealth tax, obviously, because it's only money that's motivating your political activity.
So taking away where he was and who he was talking to, that is what happened with a lot of people. Those are the same people still swearing that, not those people in the room, but I'm saying people who voted for Trump regardless of all of the racism. And this isn't his first time being anti-Semitic, like this is not new. And it was like, well, I'm not racist, I was just okay with it. And now he's just running with it. He's like, yeah, it happened before. Now I'm gonna say it directly to you and I'm gonna disrespect you.
Yeah.
And hope that nobody watching cares.
Yeah. Or think that even if they care, even if you people in the audience, even if you get that I am invoking these anti-Semitic tropes, it doesn't matter because I am so sure that you'll vote for me anyway because of this one fake version of the wealth tax that I'm pretending exists. No version of the wealth tax that Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders are putting forward takes away 100% of your wealth. It is a tiny little percentage over and above 10 or $50 million, depending on which plan you're looking at. So he's lying about the details there, but he really does seem to believe that the fear that there could be additional taxes, if he's in a group of potential voters who are all Jewish, that's the only thing he thinks he needs to talk about.
It's vile. But
yeah, and not surprising.
It's not surprising, right?
I get that, but one of the mission statements of the show is to fight back against the normalization of exactly things like this.
Absolutely, it's vile.
And so he also complained that some Jews, quote, don't love Israel enough. And that's for him to decide. You can look at.
I don't even think he could break that down and explain what he's trying to say by saying that.
I mean, it is this belief that a particular.
No, I don't think he.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. Duh. Yes, that's as much of his mind as I can put myself in. But anyway, look, I'm giving my response. I'm not Jewish, it's not for me to respond, but some people are, and they have responded. So the executive director of the Jewish Democratic Council of America, Haley Sofer, said that Trump's deeply offensive remarks, including his unconscionable repeating of negative stereotypes that have been used historically to target Jews, only reinforce our belief that Donald Trump is the biggest threat to American Jews. She also complained that Trump even had the audacity to suggest that Jews had no choice but to support him. She noted an overwhelming majority of Jews are both pro-Israel and anti-Trump because of his incendiary rhetoric and because he's emboldened the rise of white nationalism in America, which has directly led to increased hatred and violence targeting Jews. We also have a comment from author and rabbi Danya Ruttenberg, who said, it's not even coded anti-Semitism, it's not a dog whistle. He's saying this out loud to a room full of Jews who laugh, white supremacy is a hell of a drug. And J Street, prominent organization, said the president of the United States is incapable of addressing Jewish audiences without dipping into the deep well of anti-Semitic tropes that shape his worldview.
It's true, and I want to push back on something you said, because I know what you meant by saying, I'm not Jewish, it's not my place. I know you mean like, I'm not Jewish, it's not my place to speak for the Jewish community.
That's what I mean, yes.
But it is our place to speak out, which is what you're doing, which is what this whole segment is. But it is our place to speak out against that because it's gross and it's awful, and we've got to, we have to. It's our responsibility.
Exactly.
And I wish we stood together more. So I do like to see. I like to log on Twitter and see everybody, at least that I follow, calling this out. You
exactly.
know?
Yeah. The thing is, the fact that it's another week of impeachment hearings and all that, and so much else that happens, that I don't think there's any guarantee that this is going to be a big focus of the news. Even on Monday, the first real news day, I don't know that it'll be talked about much.
It's not new.
No,
and that's
it's
what's
not.
so frustrating. It's you know, it's still happening.
Yeah, and it would be reassuring a bit if you were one of the Republican congressmen or senators who had big issues with things that, like Representative Ilhan Omar said. You thought that she made some reference that could be interpreted as referencing one of these stereotypes. Well, he's just saying them out loud. And that's where the crickets come in, not in the room, but from those who say that they care a lot about anti-Semitism on the rise in America. So when he's just saying them out loud, they don't care. When he's emboldening anti-Semitic terrorist groups and domestic groups, they don't care. They don't talk about it at all. It is just a useful thing for them to occasionally mention. And
this is not just deeply offensive. This is why I always say, you know, it's wild that like I'm a journalist who is just not a free speech absolutist. I don't want anybody, I don't think that your words should put you in prison, right? But we have to call out these words because every absolute disaster, every genocide, everything that has happened in this world that is awful has begun with hate speech. That's how it starts. That's why the guy ran into the synagogue in Pennsylvania, because of hate speech. This is where it starts, and it's already started. There's nothing to start, it's already started. We've already seen what this rhetoric from this man can do.
Yeah.
But
see, I think you don't even, like what you're talking about, you don't need to apologize one bit for that. The only reason I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you feel that you need to explain why you're not a free speech absolutist and what it means, what it doesn't mean, is because disingenuous political actors, almost universally on the right, have so shifted what free speech means.
Tell them, John.
So, like, your right to speech in the Bill of Rights has to do with the government infringing on your free speech. They can't lock you up, they can't do these sorts of things. What the right means is, don't criticize me when I say something terrible. I wanna be able to call you a racial slur and you don't say anything. Not that the government's coming in and locking me up. I don't wanna be criticized. And if I say a whole bunch of these things, and if someone doesn't wanna pay me in the future, then that's infringing on my right to free speech because I'm not being paid to advance conspiracy theories and hate speech and all of that. That has nothing to do with the Bill of Rights. And I feel like they have really co-opted that language because they're the only ones that talk about it a lot. They just happen to do it in a 100% self-interested, financially focused perspective. Thank you for watching this clip from The Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.